Today we're going to talk about time and energy techniques to be the most productive, creative author mom that you can be. If you are new to my channel, hi, I'm Katlyn Duncan. I am a hybrid author, which means I publish both traditional and independent books. Here on my channel, we talk about the writing process and all the bookish things. So I would love if you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell next to it so that you know the next time I upload another video just for you. Now, this is not going to be your typical productivity video because I am coming from a unique perspective as a published author mom who also works full-time. So I have a lot of things happening in my life, and if you watched my video 2 weeks ago when I almost quit writing, I knew I needed a change. And a lot of the productivity methods that work for people who don't have kids or they just have one job are a little different. And I love to sort of embrace the chaos of my life, but in a very controlled way. But the first tip I have is time blocking. So when you do time blocking, you basically block out large chunks of your time. I like to do this in Google Calendar. You can do it in a paper planner, whatever you choose. I like to establish certain periods of my day. Doesn't have to be the same every day. Establishing these parts of my day help me sort of not to task switch, which is really bad for my focus, and also give me sort of a list of things I need to do. I heavily suffer from decision fatigue, and I have a feeling you do as well. So when I create these sort of time blocks for myself, I already know what I have to do in the specific moment. So it's a little bit of forward planning, it's a little bit routine, which I'll talk about in a minute, but it's definitely been super helpful for managing my time. A huge game changer for me was establishing sort of like this energy audit in my mind. So I found that whether it was if I had enough sleep the night before, what my day looked like, what I ate, or my energy depended on those things. Establishing sort of a routine in how I had certain energy levels throughout certain days of the week, throughout the time of day, that was super helpful for me to feel very productive in my creative pursuits specifically. So in my morning, I work from 5 to 7 in the morning on my author activities such as writing, publishing, marketing, stuff like that. And I established that time to be very creative for me. I have tried to write different times of the day. That first thing in the morning, quiet, no one interrupting me, but also too, right when I have my coffee, I sit down and I'm sort of like ready to go. No part of my day has touched me yet. There's no email situations, there's no phone calls, people are usually sleeping. That's my highest point of energy. So I use that for creative time. I'm not going to use that to answer emails because that's like a waste of my creative time. Later in the day, also depending on what I have for lunch, I will feel less energy. So not everyone can only work during high energy times. So I will sort of save some of those admin, less, brain work, less creative tasks for that time. So determine your energy blocks. I recommend plotting out your energy for an entire week. So you could do it on a piece of paper, you could do it on a Google sheet, Excel sheet, whatever. Every hour on the hour, rate your energy. And also mention, how much sleep you got the night before, what you ate, stuff like that will really help you understand where your peaks and valleys are when it comes to your energy. And you'll be able to add productive energy to productive things and less energy to less brain space things. So the next tip is sort of similar to time blocking, but it's batching. So creating these mini environments of spaces of time or physical spaces to be able to do your work. So I am someone who gets highly focused on certain things. So when I was going from, at work, so I was going from emails to answering phone calls to doing all these things, like it just created so much inefficiency in my work that having batching activities are so much more helpful. So if you are working in emails, you're sort of focused on email things. If you're working in a software, you're just really focused on that software. One thing I like to do is when I am promoting one of my books is I will do all of the image creation in Canva and then immediately do my captions and then do all of the scheduling. So you're not switching with tabs, you're not switching your brain. Batching is super helpful. And it definitely leads to a higher quality of work also when you have all of your brain space focused on that one thing at a time. Next, I want to explore the power of routine. And as I discussed in previous weeks about morning routines and evening routines, which I will link in the cards and also in the description, is that routines specifically are helpful even outside of those times. So you could have micro routines. Like, so for me, when I wake up in the morning, I get my coffee, I put on focus music, and I do my author stuff. When I am sort of in a deep work part of my day at my job, I do throw on that focus music. Again, it's super helpful for me to sort of have these routines for certain aspects of my day. Something I've also established lately is, since I do work from home, I have a walking treadmill under my desk, or I have a desk treadmill. Desk treadmill? I have a treadmill under my desk. That has helped me sort of, every time I get on it, I know I'm about to do some work, whatever that is, and it kind of puts me in the zone. So routines, while they don't have to be super rigid, are very helpful in sort of creating this environment for you to do the work that you need to do. Now, as a bonus tip, you might want to consider adding little techniques into your day as well. So I like to use the Pomodoro technique, which is basically you work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, work for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. After 4 of those, you take a longer break, stuff like that. That's super helpful when it comes to focus. And another thing too is if you're trying to change something within your schedule or your routines, I recommend habit stacking. This is such a powerful way to start new habits, where you add the new thing onto something that you already do. So say you want to listen to more podcasts and you only do it when you're taking the dog for a walk. So you always have to take the dog for a walk, but adding that new thing in there is a way to start to establish a new habit. So those are just 2 little extra tips. If you are interested in taking your time back, I do have a free download PDF in the description box below, which is called Mastering Publishing and Motherhood, where I give you some quick exercises to do, some instructions on how to take advantage of the time that you have. So if you enjoyed this video, do give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell next to it so you know the next time I upload, and I'll see you next week.